Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review Borg McEnroe, the tennis biography that basically tells the story of the rivalry between Bjorn Borg and John McEnroe, particularly leading up to their epic Wimbledon final in 1980. Now, I love me a good sports film. And I'm a big fan of tennis, so this is a perfect fit for me, and I've been really excited to see this movie. Really excited, because I grew up basically with Borg and McEnroe, and they are what gave me my love for tennis that still exists today. And even though I still do watch and follow tennis to a certain degree, not as much as I used to when I was younger, and that's mainly because there's just no real personalities in tennis anymore like there was years ago. But the tennis that was on display in this era was just beyond belief, and Bjorn Borg was the epitome of this. And this tells the story of the young brat upstart John McEnroe, who was hated by the world's media and press, who was determined to get to the #1 spot and take the place of Bjorn Borg. And this film does a really good job of portraying that. It focuses on both of the characters. They both get really good screen time. It tells their perspectives from their growing up, so it shows parts of their childhoods. And in actual fact, Bjorn Borg was a bit of a powder keg when he was young. He was very much like McEnroe as an adult, as a tennis player when he was young, and he was taught to control his emotions, and he worked on that for years, and he became like this robot almost. He was kind of described as like his emotional robot when he played tennis. Nothing bothered him, nothing got to him, and they got that across really well in the movie. He almost, to the point where it kind of made his character a little bit uninteresting at times, because there was nothing there. There was no emotion the majority of the time. It was just routine. It was almost obsessive compulsive disorder in regards to his routine and how he prepared for his tournament, especially Wimbledon. But and I did remember thinking at one point, God, they're not portraying him particularly well, Borg here, but it kind of seeps in. And you get it. You, by the end of it, you really get his performance, and it's essentially, it's a man who knows his time is up. And one thing I didn't know, it gives you a fact at the end, and I would have been too young to realise, I guess, he actually retired when he was 26, Bjorn Borg. So this film really did focus on that, his insecurities, and the fact that he wasn't going to be the best forever, and this massively talented player, John McEnroe, was just behind him, and he was going to sweep him away from the top spot fairly soon. So you really get his performance by the end, and it's a very insecure performance, because that portrays probably what he was going through at the time, Bjorn Borg. But for me, the standout in this movie was Shia LeBeouf. I just thought it was a wonderful performance from a very talented actor, and I think it was a genius piece of casting to cast him in this role. Whereas there is some similarities in the way he looks to John McEnroe. I think it's the way he acts. He really embodies the spirit of John McEnroe. And it might be because, maybe he does relate to him in regards to his craft, his art, in regards to acting. He gets a lot of bad press. He garners this reputation, whether it's warranted or not, I don't know. I've never met him. But I think he taps into that in this movie wonderfully, and he gives a fantastic performance as John McEnroe. And even though his character isn't particularly likeable in the movie, you really end up rooting for him. You really do. And for me, I think it's one of his standout performances in his career, if not the standout performance in his career. And I really tip my hat off to him. But overall, I think this is a really fantastic sports movie. I don't think it's for everybody. If you're not a fan of tennis, I'm not sure you'll get it. Even though the build-up to the Wimbledon final, which is arguably the greatest of all time in 1980 between Borg and McEnroe, is really good, and the match itself builds tension fantastically and gets it across as to how amazing a match it was. I'm not sure you'll have the same effect with this movie as you do watching something like Rocky, a boxing movie, or I don't know, something of similar ilk. I think you've got to have some kind of knowledge and love of tennis to really get the full effect of this movie. But that's not to say it's not well made, because it is. It's fantastic. It's a little bit monotone at times. It does drag a little bit, the second act especially. But it did keep me interested throughout the movie. Absolutely, it did. Great performances. It's really well filmed. Because he's from Sweden, Beyond Borg, when it gets to like the Swedish parts, he's talking in Swedish and you've got subtitles, so it feels very authentic. It feels very real, and yeah, I'm really, really glad I saw this movie. It's a solid 8 out of 10. If you've not seen it and you like sports movies, sports biography movies, it's worth a watch, definitely, for some great performances and a great movie. Um, and especially if you're a fan of tennis, this is unmissable, I would say.